Everybody, it's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is Queen Sugar, season, Season 4, episode 7? I think it's episode 7. Not a whole lot happened this episode, but you know, a couple of things happened, so let's go ahead and get into it. We start off with Nova getting dressed for an interview that she's doing, and her boo, I don't forgot boo name just that fast, but boo is encouraging her and, you know, and telling her that she's great and she's gonna be great. And she invites her to this function that is happening on the weekend. It's like a fundraiser party for her to hobnob with all of these, you know, professional type people, book people or whatever. And so Nova agrees to go with her. She seems to be happy in that moment because when they hug and they kiss, she seems to be very happy and, you know, satisfied in that moment. So as the ladies are drinking wine and laughing, Deborah has some good news for her. Apparently Nova's book has been shortlisted for the National Book Award. So she's so excited about this. She feels like this book will, you know, this will help her book get out to more and more people, and it will also help her family see, you know, what the book has done for other people to help them heal. And Boo take that moment. She says to keep everything in perspective and remind her where she came from, but really it's to like knock her down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever have that one friend? I used to have a friend that I used to be like, man, I wish I could go on tour. You know, I would love to have that experience to go on tour with an artist, you know, in my life, and they'd be like, nah, you don't want to go on tour. It's you know, it's boring, it's long, you're gonna be away from your family. Hell, I know all of that. Thank you, I know that, but I still want to go on tour. So instead of taking that moment to say, congratulations, I'm so happy for you, she took that moment to say, well, you deserve an award right now. You're worthy right now. I mean, which is not necessarily bad, but it's just kind of like, girl, watch her. Ralph Angel and Darla are watching Boo swing on the swing, and they're talking about him possibly getting an appointment for therapy. They feel like they want to know if he's okay. And, you know, Darla's kind of stressing this to Ralph. You know, Ralph Angel, he a little resistant to change all the time, right? So, you know, she's just like, I think it would be good for him. You know, let's make an appointment and see. And he's like, okay. So we at the campaign office, and Charlie is signing her paperwork. She is running for city council. I think it's going to be some issues that's going to come up with that, but we'll talk about that later. So apparently Micah is helping run her campaign. Well, so is Prosper and Romero. So they're all, you know, celebrating the fact that she has started the campaign and she's ready. She's going to announce in a couple of days or a day or so. And a woman from St. Thomas has shown up, and guess who it is, honey? Genevieve. Prosper old friend, okay? You remember on the episode he was talking about his friend passed away and they sister. You know, and Vi was telling him his sister in town, Genevieve. And so him and Genevieve kind of looked at each other, and he was like, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? I said, snap! I hope Prosper, you know, and Genevieve get together. That's just so cute. And I just love how they just, like, this is the most regular ass, boring, interesting show. Like, I just love this storyline where old people finding love. Like, I love it. I love it. As the crowd breaks up, they talk about, you know, funeral shot. When you get old, everybody start dying. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost 40, and I know some people who have died too. So, like, as you get older, people start dying. That's the next thing after getting married, having babies, and living life. Then you die. So they talk about that for a minute, and, you know, just kind of connect with each other. Romero tells Charlie that the people want to see her, and that she's gonna have to, because she's like, oh, Barrero gonna campaign in those areas for me. Speaking of, she's talking about the Hispanic part of town, the Latinx part of town, right? That Barrera is gonna campaign for her because she's Latinx. But he's like, no, you need to get out there. The people need to see your face. They need to get to know you. And she's like, well, who are you talking about? And he says, Angel Martinez. He's a pastor in the town, and she needs to see him. And then he asked her, has she thought this whole thing through? I mean, the Landry, Boudreaux's, and then you got her family. It's just a lot of history. It's a lot of bad things that have happened. And she's like, listen, because he says they are a lot. And she's like, I'm a lot. I said, that's right, bitch. You better let them know you's a lot. And she gonna handle her damn business. She gonna see whoever she got to see and do whatever she got to do, okay? Because she got to do it for her family. She had to do it for her daddy. She didn't say my father. She said my daddy, okay? I was like, you better do it for your daddy. 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 So Hollywood and Vi laying in the bed, and basically what's happening between them is that they ain't been able to get it popping. Vi has had a lot of issues come forth from this whole Jimmy Dale thing, and so it's affecting her. Like, it's, you know, she can't get her sexy on. She tells him that she's tired, and he's just like, okay, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm just tired. I promise you that's it. We see Nova is there for her interview, And Boo Babe was like, I don't know, it was just too much for me. She was encouraging her, but it was kind of like her mom, like, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be good, just drink this tea. I was just like, girl, it's too much for me. And you can tell that it's beginning to be too much for Nova as well. The guy asked questions about how the book has affected Nova's family, and she says that healing is a difficult concept and truth is difficult to face. The healing will take time. He mentions the fact of Charlie running for city council, which Nova did not know, and she's like so excited about this, you know, like her face lights up like, wow, you know, because the man asked, did the activism from her rub off onto Charlie? Nova hesitates to answer the question, and Boo Babe swoops in and starts, well, you know, her sister, I'm sure some of this has certainly rubbed off on her sister, and you know, she goes on and pontificates, right? Nova seems a bit uncomfortable by this, number one, and number two, she kind of seemed relieved a little bit that the lady came in and saved her, because she couldn't quite answer that question because she's estranged with Charlie at the moment, right? So we're back with Ralph Angel, Darla, and Blue, and we are at the therapist's office. And the therapist starts to ask Blue questions about what happened and who told him. And, you know, maybe Kenya can tell me who said it. And he says, well, Marcus told me that my dad is not real. You know, he's not my real dad. And she tells him that, first of all, this is not your fault at all. You know, all families are different. And the most important thing about a family is that it should be made up of love. They take a break, and the therapist talks to Ralph Angel and Darla and basically says he's processing this normally. You know, it might be strange to them, but he is actually going through a normal processing phase. And she asks them to be patient, and she gives them an assignment to write down a dream list for what they want to do with Blue throughout their life, because he needs to see that his future is much more important than his past, right? And while Darla starts writing immediately, you know, writing off things she wants to do, Ralph Angel kind of struggles with it a little bit. Fi's on the phone with her doctor, and she says that she tell him about the problems, and the doctor is like, listen, we did all the tests, you know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with your lupus, why you're having these problems. And she's like, listen, I've never had this problem before, and, you know, I can't, and just to be honest with you, I'm having problems in the bedroom. I can't, you know, get myself together. And she's just like, well, the doctor said, well, has something happened to you recently? You know, has it been a traumatic event that happened? And then she goes ahead and said, like, I was surprised that Vi was that open to say that she was with Jimmy Dale or whatever, that Jimmy Dale coming back kind of stirred up some feelings in her. And, you know, that's why she's having a hard time having sex or whatever. So we back with Nova and her boo, and they talk. Nova is once again excited about her sister running for office. It's like a huge deal for the town that they're in. She doing fluff interviews, you know, so she kind of like upping her sister like, damn, I'm out here doing fluff interviews, and my sister is, you know, actually trying to make change in the community that I grew up in, right? Boo isn't big on family, okay? She said, I'm not big on family. You know, sometimes you got to put family in the rear view so that you can, you know, go the places that you want to go and all of this shit here. And so, like, I ain't feeling that, because family is very important to Nova, even though she threw her whole family under the bus with this bullshit. My thing is they made the book so central a part of this season, like at the beginning, like this book. But the healing and the good things that are happening is not because of the book. You know what I mean? So I still don't see the purpose of her putting all this shit in the book, is what I'm trying to say. Kiki comes to see Micah. Basically, she's coming to drop off something. You know how you be when you got an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, when you be in high school. You leave your socks over there. You be like, let me come and get my hat. No, I'm going to bring it to you. He tells her that he's going to go see Ann. He wants to see if she wants to come. And she's like, only immediate family could see him, because now he's in. And he's like, no, the Warren checked me out. He thinks I'm a good influence. And so, you know, he will come, or he will let me come. And she was just like, oh, really? Like that. And I was like, ooh, girl. I mean, he did do it, and Aunt got in trouble for it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he a bad influence on Aunt. I mean, Micah got issues, but like, it ain't that deep. You know what I mean? He also said, well, he wanted to talk to her or whatever, and she's just like, I just don't want to talk to you right now. Like, I just don't want to talk. So I don't know if something else happened, like in between time. Like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Maybe she was mad about the tattoo and the drinking. I don't know. But it's nothing that transpired that we have seen between them that will make her not want to talk to him no more. You know what I mean? Like, he said he was never going to disrespect her. That's the last time we seen Kiki. So I don't know what's going on with that. Do you love me? Are you writing? Say you never ever leave me. We're Ralph Angel in Hollywood. So they're just kind of talking about the situation with the whole therapy thing. And Ralph Angel said, you know, he don't know if it's helping. He hopes that it helps Blue and how the therapist told them to write down a list of dreams. And then Hollywood goes on this long speech about how, you know, sometimes you feel like tomorrow is for everybody. Like, he got all his money, he got a good job, he got a good woman, and, you know, something always happens to kind of throw that dream off and just keep it just out of reach. Basically, life is about living and not holding back, because you won't have this ain't the dress rehearsal, okay? This it. Once it's over, baby. So I hope you got what you wanted out of your life. Charlie and Romero are at this function. Is like a neighborhood little party or whatever. It's with all the Latinx residents in the community are out, and she flirting with him and, you know, all of this good stuff right in front of Micah. She tells Micah that, you know, she don't know where it's going, but she really likes him and she's happy. And Micah's just like, I'm happy for you. You know, it's glad to see at least there's no point of contention between the two of them. And he come over and she say something to him a little sexy. He say something a little sexy. And Micah like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, leave, because clearly y'all got a little thing going on. Romero tells her that he wants her to meet the pastor, remember? So she goes up to the pastor. He already know who she is. He low-key got an attitude, and she giving him, you know, them politician lines. Like, I was like, girl, just talk to the man, okay? Like, girl, don't nobody want to hear that politician shit when you had no, you know, function. You trying to get my vote. Like, I don't want to hear all that. I want you to talk to me like I'm a human. He's not impressed with her, okay? All the stuff that she's saying, he's not impressed. He said he ain't never seen her face no other day but till the day she started running. He wants the community to believe in her. She keeps saying that over and over again, like, I mean what I say. And what we know about Charlie is that she's a sincere person. So he kind of, you know, he give her a crack, you know. Nova and the Boo are at the party. They at the function, okay? And so they, you know, schmoozing and whatnot. And someone is talking to Boo saying that, oh, I'm thinking about asking Nova to edit a collection of essays on African Americans. And she's like, oh, Nova can't do that type of work. You know, I can do such and such and such and such. And the lady was like, well, actually, you know, it's for up and coming writers, and you've been in the business for like 20 years or whatever. So like, girl, we don't need you, sis. Like, we want Nova. She got the reject from the girl, but Nova overheard her trying to poach her job or whatever, trying to take that job away from her. So, you know, and then she talks to Nova and says, oh, I was over here singing your praises, and oh, I planned to lunch for us on Saturday, and da-da-da-da-da. So she straight up lied to Nova, and Nova heard her, you know, doing what she was doing. So Nova's sitting there like, well, damn, okay? I mean, like, girl, that's what I'm saying. You could have had your family behind you, but you know, I digress. Charlie and Romero at the function, honey, is getting late, and she feeling real sexy, and she telling him, you know, thank you, baby, for bringing me a whole new world, baby. Thank you so much. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And he's like, ooh, I just feel like you should have everything that's good in your life. And she said, it's just been so long since a man came into my life and added to me instead of taking away. I said, girl, that's a word right there. My God, when is the man gonna come and add and not take away? My goodness. And she said, you know what? She think they done waited long enough. It's time to get it poppin', get it on and poppin'. They go back to the house. I said, bitch, you better get you some dick. It's about time, girl. It's been 4 seasons and she ain't got one peen yet. Girl, you better get you some arroz con pollo, bitch. Do it. Next morning, Nova goes to the bar at the hotel. She meets a cute little young man, okay, trying to holler. I said, boy, you better do it looking like you a fresh 21 years old. And he, you know, he kind of counsels her, asks her what she doing. She like, listen, I'm down here with an old friend that I should have left her ass where I found her. Trying not to make the same mistake I made in the past. And he asked her to go to a lounge later on that night. And she's like, no, you know, I don't think I'm gonna be going to no lounge, but it's really nice to have your conversation. So that was cute. And I was wondering why they threw that in. Are we gonna see that young man again? I said, Nova be going from grown men, little girls, to grown men, to white men, to old women. Now you finna have a young man? Okay, Nova. Ralph, Angel, Darla, and Blue are talking on the porch. They're just having a nice little family moment. It was real cute. And he related the birds that he was learning about in school to how his father protects him. So we can see that he gonna be all right. Blue gonna be okay. They kind of just smile like, my baby. My baby, he gonna be all right. He goes to the pastor. And she tells him that she's serious. She's reiterating this again. She's serious about bringing the communities together and hoping that they can work together. And he tells them, you know, there are problems, there are barriers that play on the fears of the community of Black people and Hispanic people or Latinx people, and that creates mountains between us. And she's like, you know, I want us to work together. And she says, well, you know, sometimes I feel like, well, Black people feel like we have built this country, you know what I mean, and we're still fighting for basic equality, so how can we pick up your fight too, right? And then he says, well, we feel like we maintaining the country you built, you know what I mean? And they have truth in both of those arguments, right? A lot of people get into the arguments in social justice like, well, Black people, I do feel like that as a Black person. Sometimes I do feel like, well, how many Hispanic people or Latinx people are marching for Black Lives Matter when somebody get killed or when somebody get shot, or they telling us we should have just complied and all of that stuff when something happened, but you want somebody to champion your issues when Black people, really, we are the people who got the Civil Rights Act passed. And the civil rights are not just for Black people. What I tell my students every year, they're for everybody. Okay, so we the ones who had to get beat and you know, and what, mauled by dogs, beat and sprayed with hoses and all that stuff by the police so that we can have civil rights, so that you can have some civil rights, okay? So why do we have to keep fighting for you when we can't even get our full rights? We still trying to get equality. But if you think about it, brown people go through the same thing. You know, they have a struggle. It's the same kind of struggle, right? It's the struggle of an immigrant that's trying to gain their rights and not be, you know, forced out of a country. So we have a lot to gain by working together, but those barriers, you know, those forces, right, that build those mountains between the communities is what stop us. If you look in the past, if you think about it in the past, and some people from the Latinx community and Black people used to get together, just like people from the Native American community, Black people used to get together. But now we don't see that so much more. It's more of a split, you know. So they have both had valid points, and I agree with both of them. You know, I almost feel like, I personally feel like if brown people, Black people, men and women, put all our differences aside, because we do have differences, valid differences for valid reasons, right? But I feel like if we put that to the side and we had a common goal, we could change this world. We could do anything we wanted in this world. Why you think they trying to put us down so hard? Look, I'm going off on a tangent now. But why you think people trying to oppress you so hard? Because it's greatness within you. My God, you better say that, April, today. Okay? Say it, girl. It's greatness within us. That's why we are the most oppressed people in the whole world from the beginning of time. Because there is greatness within us. Y'all better know that. Hollywood pulls up at the house on a motorcycle. Vi's like, I know you did not. I am not getting on that thing. He was like, girl, I just have a vision of you just, you know, laying on my back and the wind blowing through your hair. Like, it was just so beautiful. And, you know, she says, listen, I know I haven't been myself lately. And he's like, I know something is wrong with you. Because she tells him it doesn't have anything to do with him. And so she's like, well, just tell me. Or he's like, just tell me, you know, what's going on. And she's like, okay, well, she spoke to the doctor, and you know it has nothing to do with her lupus, and she realized that Jimmy Dale coming back into town has really stirred up some emotions inside of her, and is messing with her mind, and she's so upset about it, you know. And she says that she's asking for his patience. She's asking for a little space from him. And instead of getting mad like any normal Negro would do, get upset with you and be like, why you don't want to be with me? I ain't got nothing to do with him, you know. He says that the vows, he starts to repeat the vows. He says, in sickness and in health. I mean, through the good times, through the bad. You know the vows, child. Like, listen. He said, whatever he got to do to help his woman feel better, even if that means space. And I don't think it means like he gonna move out. It just means that they probably not gonna be having sex for a while, and she want him to be able to handle that. I don't even know if I can handle nobody like Hollywood. He is just too much. He's too everything. Like, he's everything. Nova returns to her room, and she see that Boo is packing up, getting ready to leave. She's upset with Nova because Nova missed this lunch, and Nova confronts her about the job that she was trying to take from her. And she tells her the only reason they want you is because you hot and that don't last for long, and you know, I made you. She said, when you have a 20-year career, then you can ask me something. And she's like, Nova's just like, well, if the career includes lies and deceit, then I don't want no parts of it. You can keep it. Okay, she was like, says the one who just threw her whole family under the bus. Bitch, didn't you just say put family in the rear view? Now you gonna throw that shit, girl, bye. That's when I was like, girl, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go, sis. And she said, you know, I made you. I saw you and I molded you and da-da-da-da-da. And Nova said something back to her. And this, you know, you can tell she was trying to recover this. Sis was like, nobody ever got that close again. I never crossed that line. You were the one. Blah, blah, blah. You was my first in so many ways. And Nova's like, listen, I thank you for everything that you've done. Oh, she gave her a whole, I thank you for everything you've done in your time and your services here, okay? Thank you, baby. But now it's time for you to go. She gives her a kiss, and homegirl collected her face off the floor and walked out the door. I said, well, at least you ain't say nothing stupid on the way out the door, girl, because your face is already cracked. You old. Listen, I like Cree Summer, but sis ain't aging well. Prosper and Genevieve, they talking, you know, they making, you know, some little flyers or something, you know what I'm saying? She said something about they make a good team, and he was like, I guess we do make a good team or whatever. And he asked her to dinner. He said he finna make some steaks tonight. I was like, I wanna come. I want a steak. He might have an extra one, you know. And she was like, free steaks? I'm bringing the wine. I said, y'all better get it poppin'. I'm so happy for Prosper. Like, y'all don't even much understand why she fall in love and die. Oh, Prosper. Charlie and Romero are looking at her campaign poster, and she's really excited about it. Like, you can tell her face is just lit up, you know, with joy. Like, she thinks it's gonna be really good, and she's just excited. And right as she's getting ready to hug him and make her announcement, Britt comes through the window. So somebody is pissed. Romero rushes over to her because Charlie got a cut on her neck, and she's just like, they not gonna be able to treat me like this. They're not gonna do me like this. They can't just push us around. And he's like, exactly, this is why we need to fight. This is why you're running. It's because things like this won't happen no more. People can't just intimidate you. Ralph Angel looking at Blue as he sleeps, and he goes over and sits down, and he begins to write his list. And what was on his list was that he wanted to be at Blue's college graduation, and he just kind of smiled, and I was just like, this is so, the maturing of Ralph Angel and Darla has really been a wonderful thing to see, you know, and it's been practical. It hasn't been like this happened and we're over it 2 minutes later. They've been through major traumatic things, and I think it's really important to see, you know, not slighting Darla at all, because it's good to see that aspect too of a redemption of an addict, but more so the redemption of a black man who has been through the system. So many times we see movies with men getting bamboozled back into the system, or, you know, it's just nice to see a man make it through the system, get out of it, and be able to prosper. That's why I really hope this highway doesn't pass and they build this highway in through St. Joseph. Nova calls Charlie and leaves her a message. She says that, you know, she's congratulating her about running for the office and how she's so proud of her for helping her community and all the things that she's done for the people of St. Joe since she's been home. And then she says she misses her. Like, you can tell that Nova really missed her family. And at this point, y'all, maybe I'm just a softie, but like, I feel bad for Nova. Like, that's your family. Like, they gotta talk to her at some time, right? Like, damn, that's your family. So I felt a little bad for Nova on that part. I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to feel a little, you know, she did something that was wrong. Y'all, I done straight up fought my sister before and still made up with her. You know, I done fought my sister more than one time, be honest with y'all. Fist fight. And I don't mean like, you know, arguing. I mean fist fighting. And we still can forgive each other or just move on from the situation. You know how family is. Sometimes you don't have a forgiveness talk. You just kind of act like ain't nothing happened. I just feel like they need to talk to her at some point. Like, I was a little sad for Nova. No tea, no shade. Like, I felt a little bad for her. I know y'all gonna kill me in the comments. I've always said I don't think she should be kicked out of the family forever. So Charlie announces that she's running for city council, and she says a brick will not stop her from running, baby. So don't even try it, all right? And she thanks Barrera, and she says we are not expendable, baby, and we ain't going nowhere. Not one place. Everybody claps. I mean, this is probably the most animated I think I've ever seen Charlie be, like, on this entire show, okay? The way she yelled and her voice changed, it was just like, wow, she's really, really happy, and I'm happy for her. You know what I'm saying? This was a good episode. It was kind of like a thermometer, a temperature check for everybody. It was kind of like a temperature check for everybody on the show to see kind of where we are at this point. Like I said, I am starting to feel bad for Nova only because I know that she loves her family and she misses her family, and I feel bad for her. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like this is something she need to go through too as well, because you can't do this type of stuff to your family and think people just gonna just be like, oh, okay, tell all our business. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. Mike and Kiki, do you love me? Charlie and Romero. Now, the issues I think that's gonna come up with them and this whole election is the migrant workers who died on the farm. I think that's gonna become an issue, especially how she's trying to connect with the Latinx community. I think when that rumor starts to circulate again, you know, when people start remembering what happened, that's going to be an issue for Charlie. She's going to have to bring that up, because even if she don't bring it up, somebody else going to bring it up, you know. But she do have the clinic in her favor. Even though it got raided, she still financed the clinic with her money, you know. And it's not like, okay, they didn't handle the situation right, but after the fact, they did do what they needed to do with the migrant workers dying. But I do think that's going to be an issue that ain't going to matter. You know what I mean? So I want to hear what you guys thought about the episode this week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, like my video, because when you like it, it gets out to more people. It turns up in more people's recommendations. I get lots of views for these videos, but I don't get a lot of likes. So if you could like the video, that would be great for me, okay? If you want to follow me on social media, you can at Watch Dawn of A on Instagram. I do a lot of behind the scenes things that's going on in my life with my performances and all that stuff, church stuff, whatnot, me just being silly and posting. So come on and follow me on Instagram, all right? I will holler at y'all next week. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.